Hi guys.
Hi.
How'd you guys enjoy that game last night?
You guys' heart rate's come down yet? Mine hasn't.
No, not at all. Wow, what a first night of NHL playoffs that was, especially our Hawks and Preds game. Was not expecting it to do that at all. Not at all.
No.
But we pulled it off, and that was the big thing.
That's yeah.
I may have yelled at my TV quite a bit, but we got through it. So what we're gonna do today, guys, we're gonna talk real quickly because 45 minutes we know was a long video last time.
Oops.
So we're gonna talk real quickly about the rest of the games, just to go over their quick scores, quick box score, and then we're gonna just jump right into this Hawks Pred series because apparently it's gonna be a lot better than we thought it was. So here we go. Last night, first game of the night, Ottawa and Montreal. Did you get to watch any of that game?
I saw the first period and then I watched the highlights after the game was over.
Okay, and Montreal guys won that game 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and big news from that game is PK Subban was given a 5-minute major, and then subsequently kicked out of the game. And he's
gone for game 2.
And he is gone for game 2. And they're gonna give him a little bit more disciplinary action, or they might not. It's all up to the NHL. But what do you think about that call? Because that's a call that let them get back into the game.
Right. Well, that game, first of all, from the drop of the puck, they hated each other. That was something special. That first period was just brutal hit after brutal hit.
When you get two Canadian teams going against each other in the playoffs, that's going to happen.
Yeah. So I feel like tempers were already kind of high, and PK Subban is not a master of subtlety at all.
Oh.
So he kind of just went and he had a nice little ground rule double off of Mark Stone's thumb. And Stone left, came back, left again, came back again.
They did say that Mark Stone does have a microfracture in his wrist.
Yeah.
So that apparently right in this area, through here, he's got a microfracture.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
He got him pretty good.
Yeah.
Got him pretty good.
And then, how about the coach's comments? After Ottawa's coach, after the game, said the NHL better suspend him, or essentially we're going to take action into our own hands. And we're going to come after either Subban or another one of your guys' top players. Which, in my personal opinion and experience that I have playing, what you want to do is you want to retaliate, and then there's your plausible deniability. No, I wasn't trying to retaliate. It just so happened that I went after the same guy that went after my guy.
Exactly.
So, I have a bad feeling the NHL is going to be watching Ottawa a little bit harder.
Well, it wasn't smart because if anybody was watching that game, any officials were watching that game, next game, they're going to know, all right, this was pretty chippy. Because at the end of the game, it was a nice little brawl.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to see that a couple more times, I have a feeling.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to clamp down a little bit on it a little bit more. And now that he said that, they're going to be looking for Ottawa, and that might put them behind the 8-ball penalty-wise a little bit. So.
One last quick point. Hamburglar's kind of slowed down a little bit. Another 3-goal-plus game let in for him.
He was,
so that's 3 in his last 3.
He was all right. He was okay. But if he wants to beat Montreal and Carey Price,
you're going to have to be better.
Got to be a lot better.
All right, second game of the night was playing on USA.
Yeah.
How about that, guys? USA Network is going to be having playoff games, apparently, for at least the first round.
Pretty cool.
Islanders, Washington. And I can't believe that this one happened in Washington. The Islanders pull off a 4-1 victory.
First shot of the game for the Islanders, a nice little softie let up by Braden Holtby.
Braden Holtby had a full sight on that, and he decided that he was just not going to catch that one. After that, a nice face-off goal to Ryan Strome. I want to keep calling him Dylan because his brother is coming up next year, but it's Ryan Strome.
Wicked wrister, too.
Yeah, it was nice. That snuck through at least 2 5-holes and then over the shoulder, which is crazy how that happens. And then it just kind of seemed like the Islanders, after that, played a nice lockdown game, and there was really nothing the Capitals could do. And that was pretty surprising, especially it being in Washington. Last game we're going to go to real quick, because that New York, there wasn't really much special about that Islanders-Washington. It was just kind of a dominating game by the Islanders.
Washington didn't put up much of a fight. So
no, and I don't think Mr. Trotz was very happy with that.
No, I don't think so. I think he expected a lot more from his Washington club that surprised lots of people in the regular season.
Very much so. And then here we go with Calgary and Vancouver. Vancouver drops this one after having a 1-0 lead going into the third period, and they lose 2-1 with a Chris Russell shot with 29 point something left to go in the
I was excited for this game. This was one of the games I was really excited for that I really wanted to watch. I was kind of upset that the Hawks went to double OT.
Because you're not going to watch it. You got to focus on the Hawks.
Right, I couldn't watch it. But yeah, what a game.
It was.
What a game. And I think smart decision on Canucks head coach Willie Desjardins' part to play Eddie Lack over Ryan Miller.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I like that move. Even though they lost,
it's still the right
not
move.
Lack's fault, but
no. That is,
that move.
You can't let, your team can't give up 2 goals in the third period and expect to, win a game that way. Also with that one, Chris Russell, you couldn't have waited till overtime. I was going to choose you in the Bucci overtime challenge, but apparently you wanted to get your 4th goal of the year with 30 seconds left in the game. So, sweet. Here we go, guys. Chicago-Nashville. One quick other thing about that Calgary-Vancouver series. I've done that twice now.
Yeah.
Is it wasn't as high tempo as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot of back and forth. It was in the third. I don't know how much you got to catch the third. I caught glimpses of it back and forth a little bit, but it was a lot of back and forth in the third, but not really in the first 2 periods.
The first game though of every series was kind of a feeling out process.
Yeah,
you want to get a feel for everybody on the team. What the line combos are going to be like. Who's matching up against who?
But the
so
thing
it might
is
take
that
a while for people.
My only thought with that is that this is divisional playoffs. You've played these guys the most out of any teams in the NHL.
True.
So that's why these games are typically the most fun to watch, is because there are those rivalries that are established.
Right.
Vancouver just kind of dominated the first period, and then Calgary got back into it. But they were on the road, and it's one of those things where I think they had the same problem as the Hawks, as you take that first period on the road, and it's tough. It's tough to go into a building. And then now we will get into Hawks and Nashville. How about that anthem?
Woo!
Building for the Music
City.
On
pitch or what?
Music City rock in the arena, and that was such
a joke.
Pathetic. I really hope they don't do that for the next game, because if they do that for the next game, especially if the Hawks win after that, at least we won't have to see it for Game 5, because most likely we're going to get a sweep there. But that was bad. And now it was almost as bad as the Hawks for a period.
Almost. Not as bad as
that first period,
Hawks, but
12 shots the Hawks let up in the first period. Had 6-4. It just didn't look like they were ready to play at all. And it's a playoff game, and out of one of the teams that will bring it every time they're in the playoffs, you would think it'd be Chicago. But we just didn't bring it that first 20 minutes.
We were still in. We clinched. We don't have to play mode that they had for the last week of the season, and bit them right in the tush.
Yeah. So that first goal, hey guys, Roosevelt. What a weird coincidence that Roosevelt screwed something up in the playoffs. Crazy. It's not like he's done that all year, and there were any signs that were like, maybe we shouldn't play Roosevelt. No, he never. He was spot on all year, right? Yeah.
No,
that was it.
Horrible.
Roosevelt.
The thing that makes me angry too is that he had him cut off. He was skating backwards, had him cut off, and then when that's too easy for me.
No, just go to the middle.
I'm gonna cut in front of Duncan Keith and then come right back again and see if I can get him. No, you're 492 years old. Take what you're given, idiot.
Yeah, the rest of your contract.
Good
please
God.
Yeah, that's what you need to take. So we're all on the free Rundblad train here.
Yes.
All 2 of us. Me and my ghost friend, Andy Petzinger. Sorry about the lighting today. Getting into that real quick.
Can I just, real quick, I went to a bar last night, and it was
bad, right?
What?
Alcohol?
Who says drinking alcohol?
Oh.
Weirdo. God. So, it's full, because, Hawks game.
Obviously.
And, took a while for us to get a table. So I went up to the bar, sit at the bar, to grab a drink of water.
Sure.
And I got carded.
Nerd.
I got carded just to sit at the bar.
Yeah, they do that. Because technically, I think it's supposed to be you're 21. Yeah,
I'm 22, but I look like I'm 12.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Because I shaved. And I need stuff, or else I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. That was...
Well, there's that.
Sorry.
Second goal. So we're just going to jump right back into that. Second goal, Crawford comes out of the net to play the puck. And does he fall, or does he?
It was one of those.
Does he just lose the puck on the stick and then tries to stay back there and make up for it? I wasn't really 100% sure what happened. I think he fell, is what it, or was. lost his footing.
So they threw it around the boards, and it was one of those where it was in between. You know, he could have gone out and gotten it, but it was also going pretty slow. Might have gotten another trapezoid. We're not 100% sure. He came out to play it, realized, damn, I should have stayed in the net. Wasn't going to be able to play the puck, or so it was going to be a penalty. So what he did was he threw his shoulder into the Preds player coming behind him. I'm not sure who it was. And when he threw that hit, he's a goalie, so he doesn't know how to hit, so he fell. And puck came across. And honestly, not many people are talking about this, but I think it was either Shaw behind him or something. I can't remember. But there was a player right behind Crawford that just kind of watched the whole thing happen.
Really?
Like 5 feet behind Crawford. Just watched it happen. No help at all. And then
it didn't help that the puck just bounced right to the scoring forward there, and he just
Victor Stolper.
Yeah, out of all the people.
Oh.
Speaking of Victor Stolper, did you forget that he was just one of the fastest guys in the world? Apparently.
Yeah, that was the one good part of him I liked.
He chased down Keith last night and then manhandled him and pickpocketed him in the corner, and I was like, why did we get rid of Victor?
Yeah.
But
because him and Q aren't really the best of friends.
Well, yeah. Well, me and Roosevelt aren't the best of friends either, but he's still playing.
You're also not the expert to the Hawks. But I mean,
I told Q
whatever.
at the
Okay.
I told Q at the Expo this year that I was on his coaching staff, and he laughed. So there you go. I am on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I was a future fifth member of his coaching staff, and he agreed with it.
That, yeah.
Well, when else do you see him laugh? Huh? Do you ever see the guy smile?
Yeah, last night when we scored.
Well, yeah, when we win.
Yeah.
So there's that. Third goal. Shaw takes a penalty, high sticking. Was it high sticking? No, hooking, I think.
It was a hook.
Something.
Yeah.
Shaw goes to the box, and Seth Jones takes a nice shot, and Colin Wilson tips in his second of the night.
Untouched.
Untouched in front of the net, which is unacceptable. There's nothing else you can really go into that one. It's just a power play. You gotta have your guy in front of the net. Can't really tie up. That's one of the big things with killing a penalty is as a defenseman in front of that, you do not want to tie up the forward that's standing in front, but you do have to get him the hell out of the line of sight of your goaltender, especially if the puck's the point, because at that time, they're not really looking to pass it anywhere near you because you're in front of the net. They're just trying to shoot it at you and use you as a screen. So I thought that wasn't really good defense. You'll never guess who was on the ice for that one. Starts with an R. Yep, there you go. Roosevelt was on the ice for that one again. What a guy. All three. Yep. Weird. And now we go into intermission. From what Q said in his interview last night, after what they asked, one reporter asked, what was it like in the locker room after the first period? And he said quiet. He said it was really quiet. And that kind of surprised me. I thought that there would be a lot more talking and trying to figure it out, and I thought Q would get on a little bit. Because Crawford has played awesome all year, and they really just let him down. And
they did.
It's the playoffs, and you just can't do that.
Yeah. I'll say this. Crawford did not look good from the very...
No, he did not.
From the drop of the puck. I will say that. Did not look good, but we also didn't help him. He wasn't good. Nobody else was either. Literally not a single person on the Blackhawks played a good first period.
Yeah. No, it was... No one did.
No,
it was nice to see.
Corey Crawford.
There was a couple things that when I saw that we were down 3-0 in that first period, they gave Kane the puck a couple more times and let him wheel it up the ice, which I thought was good for him because it was good to get him skating and moving the puck.
And I thought he did a great job of avoiding getting hit a couple of times.
You know, little guys are pretty good at that, especially since he's been doing that for the majority of his career.
And it was one of those
kind of instinct.
It wasn't, I'm afraid to get hit. It's one of those, I'm just going to go around you because I'm better than you are.
Yeah. And you did see a couple glimpses where he would lose the puck or he just wasn't 100% there, but he still, I think he had a good game. 2 assists, welcome back.
Two power play,
2 first assists on the power play. So it's not like he was just getting going over there and saying 88. Got the second one. But that was good to see him play. And then second period starts, it's a tale of two teams. You got a whole different team that came out unplayed in the second period. When they put Darling in the net, I don't think it had anything to do with Darling going in the net right away.
No.
The end result had a lot to do with Darling going in the net, but the second period effort had nothing to do with it. I think they knew that they let Crawford down, and they wanted to come out and play hard, and that is exactly what they did.
Yeah. It kind of flip-flopped, to be honest. It was the Hawks were just a piece of crap team in the first period, and the Predators were a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. And then, second period comes around, Nashville's thinking, hey, we're up 3-0 after one period. We got this in the bag. What happens? Nick Hjalmarsson comes in, scores a goal.
What a great play by Hjalmarsson, too.
Yeah, smart.
James Neal was that?
Yeah.
James Neal breaks his stick, and he goes to drop down a little bit lower for support. Hjalmarsson reads this play, because James Neal has to throw his stick away. Hjalmarsson reads that, starts skating to the net, and, Teuvo's right there to give him the puck behind the net. And Teuvo's first power play point ever.
Teuvo's Hervinen.
Yeah. So, but that was a fantastic read by Hjalmarsson, who is quickly becoming one of the better defensemen, I believe, in the NHL.
My favorite part of that play is after Hjalmarsson scored, he pulled out his 9-iron and he smashed the crap out of that stick from James Neal. Yeah. That was awesome.
Not only that,
motion from Nick Hjalmarsson.
Did you see that Taze gave Pekka a nice little whack on the back of the leg?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he gives him a nice little hack right there after the puck goes in, and then goes and turns around, and you can kind of see Hjalmarsson giving him a little wedge action there. Second goal, it kind of helped that the Hawks had 4 power plays in a row after that.
That was pretty nice.
So,
well, we got about 3 penalties in a row or something like that.
We had, it goes, Hawks had 2, Nashville had 1. Hawks had 2, Nashville had 4 in a row going into the third period. And then the Hawks had 2 in a row going into overtime, and then Nashville had the other one in overtime. But it was nice to get all those power plays, and it's not like they were unearned power plays.
Yeah.
Poor Shaw is just gets absolutely wrecked.
That was his head.
I mean, the poor kid is in there at all times, and he just battles. And he's just tiny, and they just, sometimes the bigger guys, there's nothing that you can do to fight that. Like, size kills at times, and at times it did. And it ended up getting us a power play.
Poor guy, no one likes him. Except for us.
Shaw?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not a single team likes him. And of course he's gone out of his way to pick a bone with the biggest dude on the other team. So it's the biggest, toughest guy.
I think it was.
Yeah, the biggest, toughest guy on the other team is just beating up on you the whole game, and
awesome.
Good for him. You gotta give it to him. Also for that first goal, real quick, Fearless Leader gets an assist on that one, which was awesome to see. And then for the second goal, Sharpie.
Nice little backdoor pass there by Kaner.
Nice backdoor pass by Kaner. Very nice backdoor pass by Kaner.
And I like how Sharpie stuck with it, because his first shot was stopped by Rene.
Yes.
Came right back to him, and he hooked it around. So I like that. A little more urgency in the power play yesterday.
And there was. You could see that they were getting pucks to the net a lot more, and it definitely helps to have Patrick Kane back on the power play, guys. Kaner is a huge factor on the power play, and it's just nice to see him back. Third goal, Fearless Leader.
A weak goal by Pekka.
A weak goal, but I would have to say a good play by Taze.
Yeah.
One of the things is
the
there are times where you got to throw off a defenseman. If you go up to the point, walk to the middle, shoot. Get the puck to the wall, to the point, shoot. They're going to realize that you're doing something like that. So when you're moving the puck around and you drop it down low to the guy on the goal line, which was Taze in that situation, sometimes it helps to just walk to the net and get stuff, see if there's a rebound out front, see if you can maybe do what Taze did. And did that go 5-0-2, by the way?
I think so.
And, you might get lucky like what Taze did on that one. I don't think that was a good play by Rene, but to each his own, right? And that second period was not just the fact that we tied that game up. Was that the 5-on-3? No, Kaner or Sharpie's was
the 5-on-3.
This was just another power play goal. Not only did the Hawks tie the game up in that period, which was, I didn't see it coming. I was hoping they would get one in that period and then push hard in the third.
Yeah.
But they allowed 4 shots on Darling in that second period. Only 4.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So that, you do that to Crawford in the first period, and Crawford's still in net, and Crawford's the hero of this game, but that's not the case. And then, third period, which is just back and forth.
That was the first playoff period.
Yes.
Of the game.
Yes. After
both teams came out.
The Hawks sucked and after Nashville sucked 2 periods in a row, that was the first period where it was back and forth, physical, hard hitting, hard playing, hockey.
Yeah.
Playoff hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah. And then they called a couple penalties in the third, which, nothing really doing on either of those ones. No. It was just a back and forth. There was a time where the Hawks got into what they did last year against St. Louis, where from about the last, 8 minutes of the game where they got very complacent.
Yeah.
And they couldn't really get a sustained forecheck going. So they would get the puck out and get it deep, and by the time they did that, they were already in their zone for so much of the time. They had to they had to go for a change. So
yeah, it was almost like they were playing to kind of get into overtime at a certain point there in the third period.
Which at that point in the third period, the next goal wins.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to play out the timeout, but pretty much the next goal is going to win.
Yeah.
So I was a little upset to see that, especially because they ended up being outshot 15-10 in that period.
But it's all right.
And
because Scott Darling came in to save the day.
God, some unbelievable saves.
Brilliant. And I liked what he did after the game. They were talking about that. He was getting interviewed, and the guy asked, talk to me about that backdoor save that you had with your right toe.
I had to go throw up after that save.
That was unbelievable. And he goes, we had a video session with Jimmy Waite, goalie coach for the Hawks, and he said that play was going to come. So as soon as they moved the puck down low, I knew it was going backdoor. He gave all the credit to the goalie coach, Jimmy Waite.
Good for him.
I love that.
Good for him.
Love it.
So third period ends in a 0-0 tie. Jump into overtime. First overtime period, God, did the Hawks get away with the penalty?
Duncan Keith pantsed. I think it was...
So the play happens,
Wilson,
the puck gets knocked out of the zone. Or to Duncan Keith fumbles it. Goes back to play it again, fumbles it again. It's a bouncing puck because the ice surface was so awesome in Nashville last night.
Yes,
it didn't look like they were playing with a bouncy ball or anything.
Yeah.
So the puck bounces twice over Keith's stick. Colin Wilson takes it and goes on a breakaway. Now the first play that Keith made where he wrapped his stick around and tried to go play the puck, that was not a penalty.
No.
But then Keith starts losing his balance, and he grabs Colin Wilson by the seat of his pants and just gives him a nice little yank backwards. And if that happened...
So blatantly obvious.
If that happened to the Hawks, I would be in such a tirade that you could not calm me down. And I don't know how... Well, there's not really any hockey fans that are Predators fans, but...
They were probably looking on the back of their little cards
to see if
it was a penalty, what kind of penalty,
or what a penalty was.
Yeah.
But they, I would be furious if that was us. But we got away with it, and then the worst part about it is that they come down and they call Seth Jones for a pretty spotty keeping call on Bickle. I mean, he did end up losing his feet because of what the slash or the trip was.
Yeah,
but
Bickle helped him out, though.
The first contact that was made was on stick.
Yeah.
He went stick on stick, and then Bickle was like, oh.
Uh-oh. What happened? I fell.
Yeah, so, and then nobody capitalized on that, but that overtime was painful. Great. I was taking Alka-Seltzer to make sure I didn't have a heart attack.
That was good stuff.
It was back and forth, and just gave me the chills there. And that was a double overtime.
Kind of tipped off a little bit.
It did tip off, but at that point, this is your 80th plus minute in the game. So there's a lot of people who played. I mean, let's look at how much ice time did Duncan Keith played 39 minutes last night, guys. Hayes played 28. That's Shea Weber minutes right there.
Yeah.
So there's
2 for Johnny O'Dea. I like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of ice time for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And Dromerson had 20. Kaner had 23. Yeah. Hosta had 29 as well. So there's a lot of guys who had a lot of time last night. My only problem with double overtime. This is double overtime, and this is the same thing I told you when we were talking about why it was Rundblad and Roosevelt on the ice for the last minute of a game that was down a goal. You got Roosevelt and Keith as your deep pairing. And I get that that's your deep pairing for the game. You can't do it in overtime. You have to switch those up in overtime. Yeah. And I don't think that was... You kind of almost have to go with rotating 2 and then stick a third out there very periodically, but he played a lot more than he should.
I would just go with the top 4. I would just
top 4, that's what I mean.
Keith Seabrook and...
O'Dea Jones. You're going every other.
Yeah. Then they start getting tired. All right, Roosevelt, jump out there with Seabrook. All right, Timonen, go out there and jump out with Keith. Speaking of Kimmo Timonen, I was praying to the sweet Lord above that he would get the overtime winner.
How nice was that?
That would have been unreal.
Yeah, that would.
Every time Timonen got the puck and each shift that he had in overtime. One shift in overtime.
Yeah, I was Bickle for the overtime game winner because everybody was choosing Hayes and Kane. So
I had Kane just because it would have been a nice story.
And then you get the puck to Mr. No Teeth Drunken Keith on the point there. He takes not a full clapper.
Yeah.
But he takes a nice little.
It was almost a snapshot.
Yeah, I guess you could pretty much call that a snapshot. He didn't really tag and rip it, but he just gave it a nice little quick one. Same thing Chris Russell did.
Yeah.
And you got awesome Yeah, my captain, who, by the way, passed him the puck, too. Mm-hmm. Or did he pass
No, that was Haas.
No, Haas passed
it.
And Taves gave it to Haas.
Yeah.
So, Taves gets his third point of the night there. He's got great body presence in front. Pekka can't see. A couple guys are getting out of the way as it's going to the net just because this was their momentum. And thank God that the Hawks won, is all I can say. Because I don't know if I can take a double overtime game and not have the Hawks win.
Yeah,
that hurts.
It's a great game, though.
Yeah, it was a very good game. And then let's just talk. This series is going to be a lot better than we thought, as we saw with that game. Especially if they play like they did in the third period in the overtime. The rest of the way in, it's going to be a long series.
Most important thing coming out of this one for me was we now have home ice.
Yes, exactly. That is the big thing. I said last video, you're not in trouble if you lose on the road. Or you lose at home. Yeah. And winning on the road immediately turns you to having home ice.
Especially in Game 1. Game 1 is a lot bigger than people give it credit for.
Yeah, it really is. And especially because now the Hawks have the ability to go into Nashville and take Game 2 as well. And then they could pretty much...
If they take Game 2, I think this one's over.
Yeah, I don't think Nashville's coming in to our building and doing that. So, other than that, Crawford's been guaranteed to start. I know you have a couple things you would like to say about this whole Crawford situation. Just so everybody knows, Crawford will be starting on Friday. Friday for Game 2. So, go ahead and take this one because, as a goalie, I'm sure there's a lot you can say.
So this situation here is media gold. Media drama gold. All they want to do is stir up drama so they have something to write.
Real quick, we begin this. You want to know how media gold this is? On Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN 1000 in Chicagoland.
No kidding.
Yeah, they were talking about it, and guess who was the person they had on talking about it? Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was talking. They were talking NBA. They were talking NBA, and then Ryan Rucco asked him why or what they think the Hawks should do with the goaltending situation. But that's how media gold this is. Charles Barkley was talking about this morning. So moving on.
That's stupid.
Very stupid.
Stupid.
Good old Barles.
Yeah.
Barles Barkley.
But yeah, all I want to do is just stir up some drama. It's nothing. Can't blame Crawford for that first period. Could he have been better? 100% yes. Totally could have been better. Did Darling come in and save the day for the Hawks?
42 on 42?
Hell yeah.
I'd say so.
Save the day. But Crawford is the Jennings Award winner for the lowest goals against in the season. Co-win with Carey Price. You can't not play him because of one bad period.
No, you can't.
Where everyone played like horse crap. Just terrible. You could bet your ass that Corey Crawford is going to play phenomenal tomorrow. He's going to be unreal. He always bounces back after a bad game and gives a stellar performance.
Yeah, and the only problem with going back to Darling is that if Darling does play bad, then he doesn't have that ability. Well, and he doesn't have the ability to jump back into the next game and shine. The next time he jumps in might be 4 or 5 games later, where he's still thinking about one game where he did poorly.
Yeah.
Where Crawford, he's coming right back on Friday, and he's got the ability to totally erase everything that happened. And I guarantee if Crawford stands on his head on Friday, you won't be hearing anything about the goaltending situation until the offseason when they talk about what to do with Crawford.
Yeah. And I liked at the end of the game, I was, after we had scored and the game was over, the Hawks were going off, into the locker room and everything, and Taves just high five to everybody. And Crawford was the last one to go in, gave him a high five, kind of stopped him, gave him, love. I was like, you know what, hey, we're gonna pick you up in the next game. Next game is all you.
Sorry. That's what he was saying. Sorry.
Our bad.
Our bad.
Could have helped you a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out Chad Miller.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think the Hawks did what they had to do. Mm-hmm. They came into Nashville not ready to play. But they obviously when you have the coach with the most playoff wins actively right now, you're going to find a way to win. And that's what great teams do. great teams find a way to win.
That's a cup winning team.
Yeah. And they found a way to win. And it wasn't the prettiest. It wasn't good, I would say, for a lot of stretches of the game.
Yeah.
But they found a way to win. And sometimes there are going to be games where you have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They dug down and they won the game. And they have an ability to go out and do it again on Friday.
Which I think they will.
I think they will as well. Any other key points that you want to bring up?
No.
All right, guys.
No. That's about it for me.
You guys know the drill. You guys can like it, share it, comment on it. Give us anything you want to talk about, any questions that you want answered. We will go and we will discuss them. So,
4 more games tonight, y'all.
Yeah,
go ahead, watch them.
Hey,
good stuff.
15 left till they're hosting the cup. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
You do look like a ghost.
Shut up!